DeMarco here, and this is going to be your Tuesday video report. Free picks coming up in just a moment on two games in baseball at Miller Park. Brewers hosting the Braves, and in the NBA at Phillips Arena in Atlanta, the Hawks taking on the San Antonio Spurs. Both of those plays coming up in just a moment. Plus, a final review of how the big dance shook out in terms of a point spread perspective. Sorry for being late for today's report, but it's been an interesting couple of months. Back in late December, early January, I hurt my knee really bad, but with everything going on in my life, with my father in hospice, and then unfortunately ultimately passing away last week, and then my mother needing emergency surgery, my wife taking care of both of them, me playing Mr. Mom, and then that little thing called March Madness. Been a little busy, but I swear to God, on Monday, yesterday, I was going to finally call the orthopedic surgeon, go in, get the x-rays they wanted done, and finally have my knee taken care of. That was 48 hours too late, because Saturday I'm walking in a parking lot, knee just collapsed. I fell down like a ton of bricks. First thing that went through my mind was, I hope to God nobody saw me just fall on my ass like this. The second thing that went through my mind was, how the hell am I going to get up? Because there ain't nobody around to help me. Then I wish somebody had seen me. So I crawl into my car, I mean literally crawled into the car, drive on home, find out that I tore the quadriceps muscle, and then today had to go for that MRI because they think I also tore the ACL. So I guess this means, I'm going to be put on injured reserve. I wonder if I'm going to get my salary because the NFL's on strike. I'm not too sure. But that's why I'm late today. So let's have fun anyway. The big dance, it was interesting last night because as general manager of the site, I don't know what the handicappers are going with. I don't talk to them. Maybe some of the guys I talk to maybe a couple times a week, but most of them I don't talk to but maybe once or twice a month. But I get all the emails that come in from the handicappers as they get filtered through our customer service department. So I see what their plays are, what their ratings are on a daily basis. And yesterday, it was like Butler, 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 Butler. Every single email coming in from every handicapper, Butler, Butler, Butler. There's something we often say in the business, that a team has too much weight on it. Well, that was the case with Butler last night. Now, I told you, I didn't really care for the game. It was just a small 5-dime play. But you saw all the guys that had monster plays on that game last night. And granted, most of them had been riding Butler throughout the tournament. And hey, they had went 5-0 against the spread, right? So, they were, in many cases, playing with house money. However, of course, Butler looked great at halftime in one of the absolute most boring first halves of a college basketball game you will ever witness. I thought I was a kid again, and it was 1973, and Dean Smith was running the four corners. 22-19, are you kidding me? That game sucked. I don't know if it was because Connecticut was tired. I know one thing, Butler certainly played tight last night, but again, too much weight. Bulldogs go down. So how does the tournament fare? Well, the Dogs go 35-25 overall versus the odds makers. 23 of those 35 puppies won outright. Double-digit favorites went 10-6. Remember the last double-digit chalk of this tournament? Kansas against VCU. In the title game, favorites have now covered 8 of the last 11 years. Big East teams in the title games now 4-0 against the spread. Number 5 or worse seeds in the title game, 0-4, both straight up and against the spread. And favorites of 5 or less points in the championship finale, 11-1 versus the odds makers. So there you go. That's what I think of that. Let's get to your first free pick, and I'm going to go with the San Antonio Spurs tonight at Atlanta. Spurs are coming off a 114-97 win at Phoenix on Sunday, which snapped their 6-game losing streak. Let's be honest, the Suns are eliminated. They were playing without Steve Nash, so they should have beaten them. Problem with the Spurs is they have added motivation here tonight, as far as I'm concerned, because, hey, FYI, the Chicago Bulls are knocking on the door. They're only 1.5 games behind San Antonio for the best overall record in the NBA, which, of course, if you meet in the championship series, earns you that home court advantage. Ask the Lakers how important that's been last year. They're only 2.5 games ahead of the Lakers in the West. Lakers, of course, blowing that game into the Denver Nuggets on Sunday, killing themselves in that one, costing them a full game in the standings as well. Now, the Spurs did beat the Hawks at home 108-92 back on December 10th. They are on an 8-1 series run. They've won 3 straight at Phillips Arena in Atlanta. As for the Hawks, they had won 4 in a row, but then they got drilled at Houston 114-109 on Sunday. And in reviewing that box score, and it was a game in which I had the Rockets in that one, and they were laying 5.5 points, and of course they only won by 5. You know, the Rockets shot 56% in that game from the field. They hit, 57.3%, excuse me, 57.3%, and the Rockets scored 56 points in the paint. Now, FYI, guys, you know, the Rockets are not a team that has a dominating center. I mean, it's not a team that funnels the ball down low. That means, you know, the Hawks, when they were playing defense, they were playing that Matador defense. You know, here, take a pass, go right to the lane, thank you very much. Kelvin Martin, oh, he did it again. I mean, absolutely no defense for the Hawks in that one. And you've got a San Antonio team that leads the NBA in three-point shooting, a little over 39%, hit 15 of 29 from three-point land, with George Hill leading the way in Sunday's rout of the Suns. So I'll go ahead and I'll lay the points with San Antonio, but just like Butler last night, you see the world has been jumping on the Spurs, pushing this number up by a full point already today. Now, in baseball, I was thinking of taking the Texas Rangers at home on the run line tonight, but then I looked at the Milwaukee Brewers game. I mean, this is a team that so much was considered or expected from the Brewers this year, and it's a team that's gotten off to an 0-4 start, a team that has scored just 6 runs in the past 3 games after scoring 6 in its opener. You may remember that was the game in which their bullpen totally collapsed late and allowed Cincinnati to rally for 3 late runs to get the win. They're going with Yovani Gallardo today. At Miller Park. Now, Gallardo in 42 lifetime appearances at home, all but one of them a start at Miller Park. He's 20-13 with a 3.31 earned run average, 2-0 with a 1.27 earned run average in 4 career starts against the Braves. I know Derek Lowe has won 6 straight starts dating back to last season. I know he pitched well in the series opener for the Braves, and I know the Braves have played well and took last night's series opener 2-1. But I like Milwaukee in this spot. You know, it's interesting, Milwaukee is not going to lose every single game this week. They finish the series with the Braves, and they host the Chicago Cubs, and then next Monday, they're at Pittsburgh. Now, you know, a fool would say, let's play the double-up theory. You've got 7 potential games. This is the start of the new betting week. This team is not going to start the season 0-11, so you keep wagering and doubling up. Because of the quality of the opponent, the Braves, and then the Cubs coming into town, you're probably going to get great cheap prices. You're not going to have to lay an overwhelming number. So mathematically and on paper, it looks like a great strategy. FYI, let me just remind you that back in '86, I decided to try that strategy with a friend of mine. We used to bet together, and he had that brilliant strategy, introduced it to me, and we picked 4 teams that were on losing streaks, and after 6 days, all 4 of those teams were still on losing streaks. And at the end of the week, I was going to pay my bookmaker, Danny, by going to a local bank and getting a advance on my Visa card to pay my debt and my friend's debt so he could pay me back. So the double-up theory isn't the wisest of theories, but wanted to at least throw it out there because I'm telling you, the Brewers are not going to go 0-7 this week. And I do like them tonight as the free pick. So good luck, everybody. And isn't that amazing? It's like the sun. Maybe somebody just looked down and said, hey, the Brewers are going to win. The sun just kept pouring through here. That's why I suddenly became ultra white on this side of my face. We're going to go with the Brewers and, again, the San Antonio Spurs tonight for your free picks. Good luck, everybody, and I will catch you again on Wednesday.